Hi guys, it's Frankie from Frankie Tech. Good to see you guys again, and I'm here with my 1 week review and FAQ video for the Galaxy A71. And this phone has been a solid performer in 1 week of use, and I think if you are in the Samsung camp, if you're a fan of the A series, you will like this phone quite a bit. From this gorgeous 6.7-inch display to the very solid mid-range performance from the Snapdragon 730, a good solid upgrade over the 675, to just an improved fingerprint scanner I feel is much improved from the previous generation. And then cameras that really I don't think are just good, they're actually great, including the 64 megapixel Samsung GW1 sensor. So let's go down in no particular order here, some of the FAQs I've been getting from you guys and some I think are important to consider, and then we'll wrap this up. So let's get started. So the first question is, does this phone have a screen protector pre-installed? And you may have noticed in some videos, yes it does. Look around the punch hole and you can see there is a screen protector pre-installed. Now it is a plastic protector, it's nothing special, but I'm going to keep it on my Galaxy A71 unit. It fits perfectly and there's no bubbles whatsoever, so it's a solid screen protector. And in terms of back protection, you do get this kind of standard TPU jelly type case in the box. I wish it was more transparent though. It's got this kind of grayish look to it and it doesn't really kind of fit well with the aesthetics of this phone, but that's my only nitpick in terms of protection that is coming included on the Galaxy A71. Question 2, is it true that this phone is a plastic back? Because I heard different. The reality is it is a mix of plastic and glass, and that's what Samsung is calling Glastic. Now, I'm not sure that that is an actual material, because the way I kind of felt it, it does have this kind of plasticky feel, but at the same time, Samsung has assured us that this Glastic is a fusion of glass and plastic, and apparently makes the phone lighter, but it also makes the phone more durable. Now, in my experience, this just feels like plastic, guys. And I don't know that Glastic is really anything different than plastic, but if you want to say that they are using something a little bit different on the Samsung phones versus just straight plastic, you have it there. And this is the same material, guys, that is used in the Galaxy S10 and Note 10 Lite as well, although those do have a metal frame while this one has a plastic frame. So just a few points to consider there. It isn't plastic, it isn't glass, but it's Glastic. There you go. Next question, when does this phone release in the US or in places like India? Well, when it comes to each individual region, all I can tell you is that this phone has now been globally released. There has been word that in the US it will be released in early Feb. We are already in that time period, so I'm assuming that this will be available in stores sometime this month. Now, in the case of India, it's kind of strange. I went to the Samsung India page and found the Galaxy A51 has been released, and if you go on YouTube, you'll see that every single Indian YouTuber has already reviewed the Galaxy A51. But where's the A71? These two phones were announced at the same time from Samsung, and it's just strangely not available in India, and you don't see it in any of the product pages. So really interesting there. I wonder if this phone is even going to come to India. In my opinion, it is the better version. I've seen the A51 in stores, but we'll talk about that in an upcoming FAQ. But for now, I don't have any information about when it's going to launch in India. If it ever will launch, we'll wait and see. Next question, how is the super steady video? And I gotta say, guys, this feature did not get as much attention as I would have liked to give it until yesterday. I was out hiking and I thought about this super steady video. I'd done some tests on it, but then I actually started testing it out on the trail, and I have some samples to share with you guys right here. Have a look at them. They are very impressive. Let's have a look. Going down some stairs. So I'm definitely moving around quite a lot, so let's do a little trail running here. Wow, that's pretty good. So what'd you guys think? I was super impressed with the super steady video. Yes, it is shooting out of the ultra wide camera, but it just looks really solid. So that is a very impressive feature, and I now realize why Samsung was touting it up in all their press releases. It is legit. Next question. How long does it take to charge this Galaxy A71? Well, good news. Last night I did complete a charge test on this Galaxy A71, and let's have a look at the results. Okay, so pretty decent results here using that 25 watt fast charger. The Galaxy A71 with a 4,500 milliampere capacity is able to charge under the 90-minute mark. Now, it is not anything kind of amazing compared to what Realme or I think Xiaomi are offering in some of their devices, like the K30, which I think can charge faster than that, and even the Realme X2 Pro. It's untouchable in that case. But I think an hour and 20, between that range of 1 hour, 20 and 30 minutes, it's still a respectable score. And in terms of capacity, this phone is easily lasting me a day and a half of use. So if you balance that with a 1 hour and 20-minute charge time, it's not too bad. It reached 70% in around 45 minutes, as you saw. So solid battery charging, I would say, overall. Next question, this or the Galaxy A51? Now guys, as you know, I have not reviewed the Galaxy A51, and the reality is I'm not really planning to review it. Why is that the case? First of all, the A51 has been reviewed to death. There are probably a dozen or more reviews on it already, and honestly, this is the version of those two releases that I would have got if I had to choose between an A51 and A71, and let me tell you why. Why would I have picked this A71 over the A51? First of all, I'm a big phone guy, and so I'm always going to pick the plus version of the phone. This is almost like a plus version with this 6.7-inch display versus the 6.5 of the A51. We also have a Snapdragon 730 versus the Exynos chip of the A51. I personally think Samsung plus Qualcomm Snapdragon equals solid devices. Whenever you see Exynos and Samsung, there's always some complaints about performance and issues. Snapdragon and Samsung always seem to create really great devices together, and this A71 is no different. Also, talking about the cameras, we have a much improved 64 megapixel over a 48 in the Galaxy A51, and so that improvement, the Samsung GW1, I think is worth it over the A51 in my opinion. And last but not least, the charging test with a 25 watt charger, I think is also an improvement over the Galaxy A51's 15 watt charger. So it's a price range difference here of 1,000 Hong Kong dollars, so well over 100 US between those two units. You have to decide for yourself which things you value, and personally for me, I like the look of the A71 and I value those upgrades over the A51, but you may value the extra money in your pocket, so you may still want to consider the A51, but I'm going to stick to the big size phone here. I just think it's a better option for my needs. And the final question here, is this worth the upgrade over the Galaxy A70? The reality is the Galaxy A70 was one of the best mid-range phones that I reviewed in 2019. And that is why I was so excited to pick this one up, because I know that this A series is really trying to compete with the Xiaomis and Realmes of the world. But compared to the previous generation, what are the things that I like better? Let's face it, the display is really good, but the A70's display was also great. But I do like the centered punch hole look. It just looks more modern. I think they've improved the brightness and the colors just pop even more than they did before. And I think if you also value cameras, you do have that 64 megapixel improved sensor over the previous generation. Super steady video is another feature that is not included in the previous generation that I would have said was kind of a gimmick, but now that I've used it is a worthy feature. And last but not least, the performance improvements between the Snapdragon 730 and the 675. And I think in terms of efficiencies, in terms of just being able to use a better Adreno GPU as well, 618 versus 612, those performance improvements are, I think, worth the upgrade alone. But if you can get a good deal on the Galaxy A70, that's still a solid mid-range phone that should last well into 2020. But if you can get this Galaxy A71 and you appreciate all of those additional improvements that I've mentioned, the improved fingerprint scanner, cameras, display, just a better package, I feel, then this A71 is definitely worth a look. But hit me up in the comments. What do you think of this A71? And honestly, would you consider this an upgrade over the A70? And that's it for this video. If you liked it, give me that thumbs up. And if you love the content of Frankie Tech, subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon for future updates. So that's it. Shout out to all my OG fans. Stay healthy, stay happy. And this is where I leave you by saying, this is Frankie Tech signing off. Have a good one.